Well, Fian says we need full support because we're on life support. So will it be a tasteless, a tasteful, or just a taste of carnival? Let's talk to the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Calypso Association organization, Mr. Ainsley King, to just find out how TUCO feels about the taste of carnival as presented by the government. Good morning to you, Ainsley.
Morning to you. Morning to as far as the listeners go. Morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. So what does TUCO feel? What's the feedback from TUCO about the taste of carnival?
Okay, it was something that we actually look forward to because it created something for the Calypsonians after so long, right? So as small as it may be, we appreciated it. We were happy, we decided that okay, we're gonna work with it. But based on what is happening now, we are seeing some challenges. I'll jump straight into that because the budget, the final announcement of the budget is really to us, it's not something that is encouraging at this time because to me it can't work. It can't work, So
why not?
I'll jump to that.
Why can't the $15 million budget work for a taste? Just a taste. It's not a dollop.
No, yes, it's a taste, but the thing is, we were allowed to more plan in advance. We got okay that it would have been, I think it was like 30 million because it started at 75. Then you start hearing some talks about 40, 45. Then you hear 30. And then you heard something like don't go under 20 and don't go over 20. And then no, it's 15. So what really happened is that we put plans together, put events together, and even made to the point of actually talking, sharing with the public, what the plans are. So now that the decision have been made for a $15 million budget, that kind of put us in a position where, it's kind of difficult. It's difficult at this point because the events that we put forward, and based on what is being offered to us, it's not going to work.
But you know what, Ainsley, I have to say to you that over the years, we keep seeing this dependency on the government, especially for Carnival and for the stakeholders of Carnival. Shouldn't the pandemic even had given us that opportunity to pivot and to try to find ways to help ourselves?
Well, what you're saying is true, and that dependency is something that has to be broken at some point because for me, I am not someone who is in support of that, right? I'm one of the person who believe that self-reliance and even creating ways for us to survive and sustain our organization is the way to go. That's my belief. But the thing is, I think that the culture, it's a culture that has been developed, and who is to blame for that? I don't know, but it's a culture that is deeply trenched into the blood of the people.
And maybe this $15 million is going to help us to break out of that culture because the dependency on the prize money is just not going to be there.
No, well, I don't understand what you're saying. I'm seeing it from a different light because if it is that someone and you is having some kind of arrangement and they tell you this is what you are working with, it gives you the privilege to be able to work within that perimeter. If that is not done, well, then you find, you are going to be left to make judgment that may put you in chaos, So it's more like that. It's from that angle I'm looking at.
So is it that plans were made based on a $30 million budget in terms of the kind of events that you all were going to have and just how expansive they would be?
Well, I will say you're correct. Yeah, I'll say you are correct.
But how were you all able to do that? One of the complaints we get consistently is that there wasn't enough time to plan anything exorbitant.
Well, while that is true, the approach was a scaled-down approach because our approach was a scaled-down because we cut everything, price structure and everything was cut, and we went into this arrangement, catering to work with the situation, but then we were not the ones who decided that it's going to be a 3 weeks. we were not the we were not the one who we got the go ahead or go ahead, because we could have just do virtual shows. We could have do virtual shows and probably get some kind of arrangement with the TV station and have it aired on the TV and the social media platform. And for us, Calypso, that could work. That could have worked. So we could have gone to a level where it wouldn't have been that costly. But we were given the assurance, go ahead. So and then it's like the cart went before the horse, and
So
that's the situation.
So you don't agree with the perceived budget cut?
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Yes, but I don't agree with the whole process. I don't agree with how this thing is being gone about. I don't agree with it. Right? I think that.
What would you fix or change, Ainsley? What are the issues TUCO are having with how this has been organized, if I can use that word?
Okay. Well, as I think I hinted before, you see, the arrangement, if it is that we're going and do this, let's be clear on what it is we intend to do. Yes, it's a strange time. It's not a normal time. And I guess everybody is in that position of uncertainty and all that. But I'm not blaming anyone. But the whole situation just have us in a position that is haven't been making sense so far. But we have put our plans together. We have the Calypso tents, and we have the safe zones where these Calypso tents is expected to be functioning. The Queensall Gardens, and we also have Naparima Bowl. We have Calypso tents that will be sharing different dates in the different venues, Yeah. And that is what we expect. That is what we were expecting. But what we have so far will accommodate that, the Calypso tents. It will accommodate that. So we had review classic Rousseau icons, back to basic, Kaiso House. Well, we have a magnificent blue from Tobago and Calypso showcase, right? And it have different dates that these tents are supposed to be in the different venues, right? We have have the 15th at the Gardens, and they also have the 12th at Naparima. Kaiso Rousseau have the 11th at the Gardens, and they have the 22nd in Naparima Bowl. Icons have the 13th in the Gardens, and the 17th at Naparima Bowl. Back to Basic will be in the Gardens for 2 nights back-to-back, the 16th and the 17th, and Kaiso House have the 18th and the 24th, right? So, and Kaiso Showcase have the 13th, and they're still working out a date for the Gardens. The Magnificent Glow will be doing like 2 shows in Tobago for the Carnival. The dates are yet to be announced, right? And then we had the competitions planned. We had like the prelims, the judging prelims from the 11th to the 13th, right? And that is supposed to take place at the Queen's Park Savannah. We have started registration and all that. But you see, now is not a time that we could think about even turning back. So we are actually moving forward, trying to reach out to Corporate Trinidad to see if anything could be granted that we could get some assistance to make it possible, right? We had a meeting yesterday with the NCC, and coming out of that meeting, there wasn't any settlement, so at least that was a good sign, because the need for us to try to acquire more funds was agreed to, and we are working towards that. So
Ainsley,
there is.
Tell me something. Based on the events that TUCO is having, how much is the budget? What is TUCO's budget for the Taste of Carnival?
Okay. Well, right now, I will say what will work for us, because we had a budget. We had a budget of about $5 million, right? But what will work for us now, seeing that we have meet to this point, I will say approximately let's say a 2.5 will take us through, and we are being offered like 1.5, so we still have like $1 million to try to get $1 million so that we can move forward, which I believe we will be able to do it. But I just capitalized this morning to speak up, because you see, when circumstances like this arise, it is important to throw it out, even for it to get back to the minister or to get back to somebody, because what is happening here don't make sense, and it could create embarrassment for the whole country. And Trinidad and Tobago being the mecca of Carnival, people are looking in, people are watching, and even though we have decided to give a taste, we have to make as much sense as possible, because
you don't think this will be a tasteful carnival?
Well, we still have time to make it a tasteful carnival. We still have time. So I want it to be a tasteful carnival.
In terms of the tent, you all had a tent a Friday. What was that like?
That was really more like the veterans going on display, because for us, we see the veterans as treasure to us, especially those people within that era from the late 70s into the 80s, that kind of thing. These calypsos are really classical calypsos, and to me, this is my opinion, to me that was the golden period of the art form, and I don't think we could go better. We could get better than that. I think we could, we might just go back to that. So it's something that we definitely intend to celebrate, and that is the veterans. We call the event the veterans. We collaborated with a television station, right? And some magic came out of it, and we intend to continue it throughout the year, because the veterans, a lot of the young people do know them, and and we think that is important, that these people get that kind of respect, because you are from Jamaica, and I can tell you that these people understand what respect means, especially for the legendary artists that they have, because I've seen on many occasions where some of the younger Jamaican artists came out and they start shining across the world. But when people reach out to them, they keep pointing to like Bob Marley, keep pointing to like some of the great Peter Tosh, and saying, well, no. I mean, before you meet to me, to give me all that praises, you have to understand that, respect have to be paid to these people who have paved the road. And I think that this is something that we in Trinidad and Tobago, within Calypso, need to understand the power of respect, the power of having identity. And I give people praise for that. I'm not trying to swell your head here this morning. It's just a fact,
That, no, but I have never seen. I have never really seen, disrespect being paid to the older Calypsonians. I think when I heard you just now, I was thinking you have to be careful that you don't lock out the younger generation that's coming in because you want to be stuck in a particular era.
No. It's not that. You see, what I am looking at is not a matter of stuck in a different era. Is that Calypso is, to me, the heart of our music, right? And Ole don't kill me for saying this. This is just my perception, right? It's my perception. I grew up, here in Trinidad and Tobago, but when you look at what is happening now, our music has me to a point where identity is not 100% there. And I'm not knocking the younger people, because apparently they are trying to make an impact and a breakthrough internationally. And I am not against that. But I am just simply saying that this art form called Calypso, to me, didn't really continue not to get the respect. Because when you hear people talk about Calypso, you hear people express that is a dying art. Yes, the tent not getting much attendance, but you see it have some things that people not looking at, because the attendance back in the tent was mainly the East Indian people, and for some reason these people kind of cut the mood, the love for going to Kaiso kind of cut, because I don't know if at some point like some line was drawn, but that is a reality that people not looking at. And this is how I look at things, because I do my research. I'm into this thing, and I try my best to look at the history and get understanding and compare to the times that was real. Calypso was really happening, and Calypso was the thing, to the time now where some people believe it's a dying art and that kind of thing. So I mean, how I speak, I just want people to give what is due, and to Kaiso, because Kaiso is much more than people look at it today.
Yeah, but I think giving what is due to is also giving space to the young people who are coming and understanding that their understanding of calypso would have evolved.
I see what you are saying, but for the said young people too, I mean, I'm saying let us jump on board and move calypso, you know. And I'm not against people, as I said, you know, I don't have a problem. The styles and things that they have adopted is you know, I mean, is respect to it. But I am just the representative of calypso, and I stand solid behind the art form, and I will continue speaking this way, not to offend no one, but to give the credit that calypso deserves to calypso. That's all. I'm the representative.
Ainsley, talk to us about this $2.5 million budget. How is that going to be allocated in TUCO?
The 2.5, the what?
You said that initially you were all asking for a budget of $5 million, but with the cut, you know, you think it's going to be about $2.5 million. So I'm saying, how will that be distributed?
Well, that will just go towards events, you know, because in the budget we normally allocate for yearly expenses and so on for running at the office and all that, but that is not included. So this is just going to go strictly to the events that is expected to be staged over the next well, let's say 2 weeks, because
and also the performers.
I will perform as well. Mainly, this is to distribute mainly to performers. It's mainly to performers, because as I told you, you see the amount of calypso tents, and these tents have the bands and they have the chorus groups and so on. And we are making sure that they are involved in whatever little that the Taste of Carnival, where calypso is concerned, has to offer.
All right, Ainsley, thank you so much for speaking with us this morning, and all the best for the season.
Well, I appreciate that I appreciate you all having me. Thanks.
You're most welcome. Ainsley King there, President of TUCO Rockers.
Yes. Yes.
Your face.
I mean, I have a couple of things I wanted to challenge with him, but I don't know if we have time for that this morning. Like, when you talk about the golden era of calypso, like, I mean, these guys that were showcased on last week, they are great calypsonians, no doubt about that. But then the golden era of calypso was referred to as the time of Roaring Lion and Spoiler and these guys. They refer to that as the golden era of calypso. So there will always be another golden era of calypso with great music. So to say that, you know, we will never get better than that, come on. That just shows a lack of vision as far as I'm concerned. But we take a quick break and come back with more Inside the Down Morning Show. Please, stay tuned.